Got some videos I'm gonna show you guys. 7 or 8 when I really got into Dumb Smash. What I loved. Video literally blew up. I got over 1,000 views. I always loved to just dance. And Granny went to see was me just dancing, able to express myself through like the camera. Myself, not only through dancing, but also just by me recording music or my thinking. And my mindset is completely different. Hey you guys, welcome back to my channel. It's your girl Charla, the only Charla for those that don't know. And in today's video, as you guys could tell by the title, we are going to be doing a story time on how I knew that I was different. But before I get into it, make sure that you all like, comment, and subscribe and hit the notification bell whenever I post it so you don't have to miss out any videos. And you guys, let's go ahead and get started. Okay guys, so as y'all can pretty much hear, I got my iPad, y'all. And I'm going to be talking about a whole lot of things, as y'all can pretty much see here. It's like a whole entire list. I don't know if y'all can really see it, but so we about to go ahead and get into it. So the first thing I'm going to be talking about is the signs on being different. So how it all started, it's like in Cleveland, from the ages between, I would say like a newborn all the way up till I was about 3. I used to always be the entertainer in the family, and what I mean by that is that I always loved to just dance. And you know, back then I wasn't really like talking, so the way how I would express myself would be just to dance. And my granny, who had passed away back in like 2021, rest in peace to her, she used to always call me, she used to always say baby, baby, baby. And my mama used to always tell me that every Sunday, whatever day, like that's what Granny wanted to see, was me just dancing, because that's what I did. Like I was always the entertainer. And I feel like from there it went from me not only being able to express myself through dances, but also being able to express myself through like the camera. And what I mean by that is, to Columbia, South Carolina, I was maybe around like 3 years old.
Now, you guys, I did forget to mention that instead of me saying that we had moved down to Columbia, South Carolina when I was about 3, we had moved down to Florence, South Carolina around the time that I was 3 years old. And then from there, I want to say when I was about 9 years old, we had then moved to Columbia, South Carolina. That's what I meant to say.
So when I came down here, I used to always take pictures, record myself just doing anything, almost like as if like I'm recording, like I'm like a YouTuber or something. Like I don't know, like. And I would always be like, hey you guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel, like kind of like how I'm doing now. And I would always like record everybody in the house. Like, you know, the camera for me, I feel like that's a chance where I really get to express myself, not only through dancing but also just by me recording. And I feel like whenever, like ever since I was a child, when I did record myself, it felt like I could really be myself without having to feel, you know, judged by or anything like that. Now you guys, I will be showing y'all some videos. I'm gonna show y'all this one video of me dancing. It was actually pretty funny, but it lucky made me cry, because I think it's just a realization, like I'm really getting older, and it's like, you know, I actually got to start being more serious. But I will be showing you guys this video of me when I was little and when I was dancing. So let me go ahead and start screen sharing. Okay guys, so I found it. So here's the video. So this one I would say is my favorite, and it says good baby gone bad. So we about to go ahead and click on it and all that great stuff. And it's crazy because I got 111 views, and that was like 13 years ago. Can't y'all believe that? Okay. And what I mean by everybody, like everybody used to always like love to see me perform. Like as far as like my cousins, my dad, my granny, everybody. And I've carried that with me up till now. And still, like even now, like I still dance like wherever I go. For real. So we about to go ahead and play this video so y'all can see, you know, how I used to be and stuff.
Where'd she get that movie from?
I don't know. No, Chuck was doing that. He be shaking his butt. He be like, "Come on, let's shake our butts." I'm serious, and that's what y'all get them from.
Over her butt.
Go Pooh!
You should see Chuck. He be at the pool too.
Oh, look at her. It's going on YouTube.
You have to have an account for it.
On my back one. But yeah, you guys, that's just a little clip of how I used to be when I was little. I do have some videos of myself that I could show with y'all. So yeah, but I don't have videos from when I was like 7 or 8 because unfortunately I don't know what happened to my other tablet, but something happened to my other tablet to where I had threw away my tablet. But I had a lot of footage in there, like I'm talking about videos and everything. So you guys, when I had gotten into the groove of dancing, I feel like it also turned it into me learning how to do like majorette, and that is the other topic that we're going to be getting into, which is it also started from dumb smash and recognition. Now you guys, let me go ahead and explain to y'all. Now everybody who is a Gen Z, we all know what dumb smash is. Well, Gen Z, millennial, you know, anybody. Dumb Smash, I feel like Dumb Smash was like my go-to app that I would always go to every time. And Dumb Smash for me, like honestly, I wasn't thinking about nothing about getting famous, no nothing. Like I was just posting what I love to do, which is basically dancing, showing off my moves, doing like majorette dances. And I learned that from me being on Dumb Smash and also watching DD4L, which is the Dancing Dolls. And I pretty much perfected my craft a lot. And you guys, I'm about to show y'all some of the videos that I had did back when Dumb Smash was like around and stuff. So I'm about to go ahead and start sharing my screen so y'all can pretty much see the stuff that I did. So here's one of them. Here's another one. And then this is another one too.
When I do my dance, money fight, these niggas gon' dance. JC, I ain't playing. Little bitch, I don't
It's so funny, y'all, because I have not seen this. I have not seen this video in so long. Like y'all, I didn't even know that I had did this type of video. Like it even has surprised me because I'm just like, I did this? Like what? You know what I'm saying? I'm like, oh child, but
when I do my dance.
so you guys, as y'all can pretty much see here, I was definitely a Dumb Smash type of girl.
I been letting them random mouths talking in my repo.
I love
Ride with a G-Shock. I heard he shot. Turkles make a big buck. He made that shot touch. Roll this bottle, flip the car.
So yeah, I want to say I can't remember how old I was when I first got on Dumb Smash, but I know I was definitely young. because you already know I'm 16 right now. So I want to say I was like at least around 7 or 8 when I really got into Dumb Smash, and when I really started posting and everything. And yeah, and you know me, I'm just like, okay, you know, I'm just gonna post and everything. But see, that also ties into with the recognition. And the reason why we're going to be talking about recognition, you guys, is because the fact that I did get recognized when I was at least about 10. Now, you guys, I don't have the receipts for real, but I do have this one video that I remember that did blow up. It was like a while back. I want to say like 2021. And you know, around this time, I'll never forget, I was scrolling through Dumb Smash, and there's this girl by the name of, I think her name is Leah. I'm gonna make sure I tag her if I mispronounce it. I think her name is Leah. But I remember she had created this dance, and I'm just like, okay, you know, that looked like a dance that I could, you know, learn. So, you know, I kind of had recreated the dance, but I also made sure that I gave her credits, because, you know what I'm saying, she had also made sure to give her credit, because I know that's a dance that she had created. So, you know, of course, you know me, I'm tagging her. I'm not really thinking nothing much of it, you know what I'm saying. I just wanted to post what I loved, which is Major Red, like I told y'all before. Now, I'm about to go ahead and share my screen again, and I'm going to show you guys this video, this one video that I remember that blew up back in 2021, and I ended up getting recognized. So, let's go ahead and watch this video.
Wasn't enough that I split 20% of what I make. Wasn't enough that I cut niggas half of what I bake. Ain't enough, wasn't enough, just one's to ya. Sneak up behind you and stick the knife through ya. Little kid.
So you guys, I want to say, before I actually had posted that video, it did take me a little minute to learn the dance, because it was a whole lot of steps. I just remember it was around nighttime, and all I know is when I go onto Instagram, I'm getting a whole bunch of notifications. A whole bunch of notifications. I'm just like, why am I getting a whole bunch of notifications, y'all? When I tell y'all, my video literally blew up. I got over 1,000 views. I wish I could show y'all, but see, when I had deleted my other account, it kind of had erased all the photos and the videos that I had, because I didn't really screenshot any. But it's so funny, because she said that I had mentioned her this one specific day, and when she had reposted my video, I was like, oh my gosh, like, you know, I was not thinking nothing of it. I didn't think that I would blow up from that. And then that also ties into with me getting recognized by Dumb Smash, because it's around that time, Dumb Smash, when it was really around, they was following all the famous people, you know what I'm saying. And I never really would have thought that I would get recognized by Dumb Smash through me just creating a Major video, giving credits to the person and everything. And that's when I just remember there was this one day I was just on Instagram, and I just remember like Dumb Smash had texted me, and they asked me if I wanted to participate in the dance battle, and I was like, oh yeah, sure. And when I did, it was so crazy, because not only after I got done doing my dance battle, y'all, but I don't know if y'all know content creator's name, but his name is Ray Up Now, I want to say. He live in Atlanta. And it's so crazy, because I got the chance to meet him, and I was like, oh my gosh, like, what? And it's so crazy, because I want to say Dumb Smash, somebody had added him. And I was like, oh, but like, you know, I was just like, hey, like, you know, around that time, I was very happy. Like, I really had enjoyed myself, like, for real. And right now, when I do meet, like, celebrities or, like, influencers, content creators, like, it don't really be a big deal to me, because I've been getting recognized by content creators, influencers, anybody, like, ever since I was about 10. So this ain't really nothing new to me, but I'm glad that I got to I'm glad that I did get recognized. But on my hard work, dedication, time into me actually perfecting my craft with majorette, and now I've gotten like way better, especially over like the last few years. Like that was just like the start. But yeah, so now you guys, we're about to go ahead and go into the middle, which is the discovery about how I knew that I was different. Okay, now this is interesting because I definitely have a story to tell, but y'all, let me finish up my hot chocolate first and then we're gonna go into it. Okay guys, so I would say the transition from middle school onto high school, y'all, and I feel like this is really a big one. I feel like that's around the time when people start, their mindsets start changing. You know, you lose friends, you gain some friends. Like, you know, there's a lot, but what I will say is I feel like high school really prepares you for when you get to like college. And everything versus like middle school. I feel like middle school is just like, I feel like middle school to me is just like a whole bunch of just drama. Like, but you guys, I know like for me, I never really fit in with the crowd. And you know, see, at the time, I didn't understand as to why I never could like fit in with people, but I realized that it's really like my that it's from me being authentic that really either inspires people or like it intimidates people. Go ahead and give y'all a little story. So when as I was growing up, you know, I've always been the type of friend that always wanted to like talk to everybody. I want to be everybody's friend. And when I tell y'all, life had humbled me so fast. Because I feel like as I've gotten older, like I really have realized like everybody ain't your friend. You know what I'm saying? And it was definitely hard for me to accept because like ever since I was younger, like I want to be everybody's friend. And this ties into this discovering when I knew I was different, because I would always try to fit in with people. And when I would try to fit in with people, like it would never work. It would never work because it would be one of those things where it's like when I do speak my mind, it's like people would try to miss it, or people would try to in general dismiss what I was trying to say, anything of that nature. And I realized that me blending in with people, me trying to fit in with people, it don't work, because the way of my thinking and my mindset is completely different. And I think that's what also sets me apart, because of the way how I am and the way how I go about things. I feel like that's more on like a mature type of level. I realized that I never really fit in the crowd. I just started to just really be by myself, because when I do try to fit in the crowd, it just don't ever work out. And then like people always be trying to change the way how I am. And before, like I would always try to gain acceptance from others. And if that makes any sense, like if somebody didn't like the way I was acting, I would try to change the way how I am. And then I realized like that's not me, and I know I didn't feel good. So ever since then, like ever since I realized that I was never meant to fit in, like I just now stay to myself, because it feels better to stay to yourself than to be around a bunch of people who are not really your friend. This also ties into my mindset and the way of me thinking, because the school that I go to, I know when I talk to my mindset is more on a mature type of level than I think more about my goals, what I want to do in life. I'm not worried about the smoking, the partying, the drinking, all of that stuff. I'm not even thinking about that. That is an idea of where I think that I am headed. As far as my goals, my growth, trying to better myself every day. The teachers at my school who I talked to, there was this one, I had this one math teacher. This was like last year, my freshman year. And I remember, like, you know, as we was talking, she told me, she was like, you know, you are very mature for your age. And it's so funny because I get this from a lot of teachers who I actually have like conversations with, and they always tell me like, you're very mature for your age. And a lot of people tell me like, oh, like you have like an old soul. And people always ask me like, was you raised by your grandparents? And it's so funny because like I actually was raised by my grandparents actually. And I think I picked up on like their mannerisms, the way of thinking and everything. So that's why I feel like I've gained a lot of guidance and wisdom because of that. And I know there's just one administrator I remember who I was talking to. If you see this, hey queen. But basically I remember I was talking to her, and you know, we were just having like a regular conversation. And I told her, I was like, well, you know, my grandparents had raised me. And she had told me, she was like, you know, Charla, it's like you're young on the outside, but like on the inside, like you act like you like 62 years old. And that made me like laugh because it's like, for real? You know what I'm saying? But I think it's like the way how I talk, the way how. But yeah, you guys, so I remember one of the administrators I was talking to, she was like, Charla, I don't know how to explain it, but on the outside, you know, you young, but on the inside, it's like you around like 62 years old. Like you act like you like 62 years old. And but she's not the only person that said that. Like there's been plenty of like teachers or like people who I even talk to that's like maybe like a year or two that's older than me, and they would always tell me like, Charla, you are very mature for your age. And even when my teacher, she was like, you're mature, like you are very mature, but you also act like you around like at least like 18 to around like 20 years old. And that's when it really had settled in, like, dang, like the way of me thinking is really like on an adult level versus a teenage level. And I feel like that's the reason why I'm in with people, because of their way of thinking versus my thinking. Mine was completely different, and I feel like that's what has really set me apart from like other people. And that I would say when I started really realizing I was different is when I went to Influencer City, and the way how those YouTubers / influencers like was interacting with me. They was interacting with me in a way where it was like they already knew me. Like, and at first I didn't think nothing much of it until I looked back and I was like, dang, they really treated me like I'm like one of them, you know what I'm saying? And that's when I knew like I'm meant for more. I'm definitely meant for more. I don't know what it is, but I know I'm definitely meant for a whole lot more. And they treat me as if like we was just family, like they just knew me like year. But I really enjoyed talking with them, communicating with them. And I'll never forget this one girl, I think her name is Ida. I want to say it's IDA. I'm gonna tag her right on the screen, but I'll never forget, we was like talking. She was like, oh my gosh, you're so pretty. Like she was like, and it was like, it's so crazy because I feel like when I went to Influencer City, it was almost as if like everybody was just admiring me more than I was with them.
You got desires, I know. You got desires. You got that fire, and I'm not a liar. You had me down on my knees and really had to talk beside. I'm in that 8 and then one of the different prior.
And even my my mama had expressed that to me too, like the other day. She was like, you know, try the way how they was interacting with you, like it was almost as if they knew you. And I didn't realize it until I looked back at the video, and I'm just like, you know what, you right. You were definitely right. And I'm glad I was able to talk with them, and just everything, honestly. To go ahead and go on to what the future looks like for me. So you guys, one thing I will say is that I don't know what the future holds for me, but I do know that God definitely has a plan for me. I don't know what it is, but I know it's way bigger. I think in this season, I just have to really trust in him. Because I feel like he really do be helping me, and he really do be trying to like tell me things. But see, sometimes I just don't be listening. But I think this is just the season where I really just got to trust him. But one thing I will say is that I don't know when this is going to happen, but I definitely can see myself within the next few years that I will be on some type of like show, some type of like interview. Like, I don't know why, but I can really see myself being in like somebody's show, getting like interviewed, and like me being able to like talk to one of my favorite teachers. Like, I feel like there's a lot for me, honestly. And my future plans is to really just go to college. I want to go to HBCU, but once I get accepted into HBCU, I definitely want to study in business administration, entrepreneurship, and I'm gonna tell y'all why. Because basically, well, the reason why is because I realized my major that I could really pursue in is entrepreneurship, and I didn't realize that until I was put in an entrepreneurship class last semester. And my entrepreneurship teacher started telling everybody about pretty much just, you know, how to become an entrepreneur, what the steps that you need to take, the risk taking. And that really had interested me, and I passed her class with like a quarter 2 and quarter 1, like hands down. I feel like entrepreneurship is like was one of my most easiest classes. Like, it was like everybody else was saying about how entrepreneurship was hard and all this and that and third, but for me, like, honestly, I loved entrepreneurship. I didn't have no problem with entrepreneurship. And you guys, on top of that too, let me show y'all the food truck that we did. So this is my food truck that I did back when I was in my entrepreneurship class. And we had did this project, and I went ahead and picked healthy, nourishing food that helps with your digestive system, your health, everything, instead of eating a lot of high processed foods. And I ended up making, I ended up making a 100 for this project. And this was also around the time when I had accidentally cut myself with the box cutter, y'all. But I'm perfectly fine now. But that did happen. That did occur back in November, I want to say. Yeah, we're in November. So yeah, but this is pretty much like my food truck. Get into it, you guys. I got my little table, I have my truck, and I kind of have put my own little decorations, as y'all can pretty much see here. And yeah, so this is what it looks like. And that's when I knew that entrepreneurship is for me, because there was times where I didn't even really study. I just really scanned through, and I would always make at least like a B or like a A. Like, I didn't even really have to say. That's how I knew that entrepreneurship is definitely for me. And that's why I also say that, like, I also want to study in business administration and management, and pursue in filming and arts, to get myself into the groove of like probably like acting, and probably like some leadership roles, honestly. And another fun fact that a lot of people don't know about me is that when I was little, well, I want to say this happened back at elementary school and middle school. So I remember I had got this role, I guess you could say like public recognition, public leadership. I forgot how you say it, but basically it's where my teacher, she had I guess, picked on me to speak in front of everybody. And this had happened around, I want to say, 3rd grade. And I did pretty well. And that was like my first time back in elementary. At first I was about to forget what I was saying, but then I was like, okay, I remember. And then I did another one back in middle school that was also back in 8th grade. And I remember my 6th grade teacher, she had wanted me to speak in front of the microphone and just gave like the announcements and everything. And that's another fact that a lot of people don't know about me, is that like there were some teachers that wanted me to speak in front of people, and that's exactly what I did. And yeah, but I could definitely see myself pursuing and also acting, of course. I could see myself inspiring a lot of people. And I feel like even now, like, and it's so funny, you guys, because I didn't really realize how big of an impact I had towards like other people and like how I interacted with people until they started telling me like, you know, Charla, like, you know, before I was like da 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 da, but it's like ever since I've met you, like, you really inspired me to become a better person. And now remind y'all, this was happening around, I didn't really realize how big of an impact I had from people until I want to say I was getting out of middle school. And this goes for like anybody who I would come across. I would never know that would make such a big impact, as far as like people my age, people younger than me, people older than me, even like adults even. There has been like a good amount of teachers that, and it's like I would notice things, and it wouldn't be nothing bad, like I would just notice like certain things and how much like I really made a positive impact. And at the time I didn't understand it, but I guess I'm meant to just impact the world, I guess, because it's like people be inspired by me, like no matter how old they is, like people really be inspired by me. And it's like for some odd reason when I talk to people, it's like the way how they used to be, it's like they start changing into becoming more of a mature type of person. And I think that's why also too, a lot of people always come to me for like advice, because I have a lot of guidance and wisdom. But I also think that also stems from me being around a lot of elderly people too. That also plays a part too. But yeah, I pretty much just wrote down just being able to inspire people throughout my experiences, words, and mindset. And also social media platforms. And that's another thing too. With the social media platform, I didn't realize, like when I started creating content, I didn't realize like how many other people was going to actually start doing the same thing. And that's when I knew, I was like, damn, like I really do inspire people. Because even when I first started making content, I remember like a lot of people used to always be asking me, oh Charla, how do you get started with content? Like I would get a whole bunch of text messages on Instagram saying, oh Charla, how you did this, how you did that, make content, da da da. Mind you, I started out when I was in 8th grade, and it's crazy because I'm literally a sophomore. But you guys, this year I'm actually locking for real. But yeah, I didn't realize how much I've impacted people until like I had left middle school. And even till this day, like I still have like an impact on people, like a positive impact. And I'm glad. And I think it's just through like my words, my guidance, the experiences that I've went through, good or bad. I think that's the reason why people always come to me, because it's like I know how to help, you know what I'm saying? And I've always been the person to like help people. And I can really see myself like being in more like leadership roles when I get older and everything. I don't know where God is going to take me, but I know it's going to be good. I definitely know that it's going to be good. And I'm honestly ready for how these next few years are going to play out, you guys. But You guys, this is pretty much the end of this video. This video, I really hope that all y'all had enjoyed this video. Let me know what part resonated with y'all, and I would love to hear y'all experiences, and just let me know if y'all feel the same way, anything. I would definitely be checking. I would definitely be checking to see what y'all had to say and everything. But this video was definitely different. I've never done a story time about how I knew that I was different. Teachers, even administrators, even, because I guess like since everybody know that I am an influencer, I feel like everybody who is a YouTuber, influencer, content creator, I feel like we all like, we don't even be thinking like how famous we really are until like people ask us for a photograph, or when people just be like, oh, ain't you da 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 da, like, oh, like, hey, like, you know what I'm saying? And it's like, you know, in our heads we just think, okay, you know, we just gonna post content, like, you know, it ain't even gonna, we're not even thinking about how big we really are. And I didn't realize how big people actually see me until teachers started like mentioning certain stuff, or even administrators. Even like, I know there's this one administrator that taught to me, and I'll never forget, like, you know, I was sitting down in her office and she was like, Charlotte, I don't know why, but you just give me celebrity vibes. And I was like, what? Because, you know, in my head I'm just thinking like, oh, you know, I told her, I was like, well, I don't really think of myself as a celebrity, but I will say that I definitely see myself as a well-known person. But I'm assuming like a lot of people just see, I don't know what people see, but I know that a lot of people see greatness in me. I know a lot of people see, I don't know, a lot of people see me as just being famous, you know. And I feel like when I do become famous, like, honestly, I'll be proud of myself, because then I can look back at like the videos that I had created and be like, damn, like, I remember when I was just starting, you know what I'm saying? But yeah, you guys, I really hope that all y'all had enjoyed this video. This is pretty much like a long video, but this up, let me know what any type of videos y'all like to see from me, you guys. I do have some more content coming for you guys. I am supposed to be making content between like this weekend, because it is January the 19th. So yeah, you guys, just gonna stay tuned for that, and I'm gonna go ahead and see you guys later. And I hope that all y'all enjoyed this video, and bye bye, y'all.